All right, how's everyone doing? Hello, Gun Nation. All right, we'll give it a little bit. I'll let everybody jump in. First, we've got CZ Shadow 2 and Lynn Holt. Hopefully, y'all can hear and see me well. Cheers, everyone. We've got, what the heck is this? I just poured it. Um, well, I drew a blank, but I'll think of it here in a minute. We've got KO4S4. Hello. Dirt Track 410. Golly, I can't believe I can't remember what the heck I just poured about 30 minutes ago. Lake Ozark guy, Brian Duchesne. Yeah, we've got an interesting one. Basically, it's can you trust them or can you trust them? Hello, Pistol Pete, A Dubs, TM, how are you? Trying to get hydrated. I hadn't drank enough water today. But we've got an interesting chat. I'm going to be getting some opinions, and I'll share my opinions, of course. Let's see here. Also, if anybody needs any, BOTAC, BOTACH, they're having a big mag sale on Lancer mags, P mags, all kinds of stuff. So if anybody is needing any, I suggest loading up. They've got some good prices on Lancer, just the dark smoke. I think they're like $11 and something. That is not bad. Let's see here. I trust no one. My guns are all lost in a boating accident, for the record. I hear you part of that, but I will not back down from anything. I've got my guns. They didn't get lost. I know where every one of them are. So I know you're just joking, but I'm not going to hide anything. Come and take them. But let's get into it. Where I was going with this is, and I think we can all agree on some of these. Can you trust Can you trust the politicians? That's the big one. My answer is no. Usually, if their mouth's moving, they're lying. Hello, IBG. How are you? That's a good price. IBG is sharing if PSA has CZPO1 Omegas for $5.99. That's actually a really good deal. So if anybody needs any, thanks for the heads up. And I might have seen it, just forgot about that one. Hello, Casey. How are you? Brian, if you could only count the things he and his family have done, we got old 10% guy. We've got pipe smoker. We've got his brother. We've got all of them. Hello, Kyla. How are you? But yeah, that is a good price for a PO1. All right. Another one, and this is where I was going to go with this, is can you trust all red dots? Like, some of these cheap brands, some of the expensive brands. Can you trust all of these red dots? My answer to that is no. Um, I've had some really cheap ones, and when you put them under, like you could put them on a gun, whether it be a rifle or a pistol, you could shoot them. Um, and they're probably going to work great for months and months and months, but the whole test is years and years and years. And that's what a lot of people don't test for. Whether it be, getting moisture in them, the dot just taking a crap, losing a reticle. Now, it can happen in any dot. As y'all all know, I've trashed two Delta Point Pros. and I only have one left. So far, so good. Don't shoot it a whole bunch anymore because I've lost interest in those dots. I did have an SRO take a crap. The reticle detached and actually shot up to the left or the right, but it replaced the whole thing. So what I look at, whether it be a cheap quality gun, cheap quality optic, cheap quality whatever, it's how their customer service takes care of it. If they've got great customer service, they're all over it. They replace it, whatever they're going to do, they really stand behind it. You know, that's good. That's good. I love great customer service because you can have the same thing with a super expensive car or truck or whatever, computer, anything can happen. So it's how they handle it. But there are some things I won't touch with a 10-foot pole. And I think y'all know some of the guns I won't touch. Hello, Mike Kai. How are you? He's on the straight and narrow, yeah. If you have guns, buy more ammo. And, Scott, just like I just said, buy more magazines, too. Magazines are usually the first things to fail. I've only had Hollow Sun and Primary Arm dots. Yeah, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with Primary Arms dots. The only thing that I have with this one, and I, haven't officially done a full-blown review on it, but this SLX RS10, it's Primary Arms. They actually sent it to me. I am an affiliate with them. However, this one has a pretty slow refresh rate. Now, if you're just standing there and you're just shooting it, bang, 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 it's not that bad. But when you start transitioning, you'll get a little bit of blinking, and that's the refresh rate. It just can't keep up with itself. So it's not quite there. It's not bad. Like on a 22 or something, probably be fine. But if you're really trying to get after it and like a USPSA match or something, I wouldn't trust that one yet. Looks like Trader Joe's apple juice. Hello, Dennis Buckner. How are you? No, it is, God dang it. It's a really good whiskey. And I've announced it on here before. I'm getting low on that bottle, so I'll probably buy more because I'm liking it. If I think about it, I'll kind of looks like gas. Well, a lot of whiskey does look like gas. TM, I don't trust pistol red dots yet. Well, here's the thing, and this is what I always say to everyone who says that. Not everyone trusted AR-15 red dots or rifle red dots either. But look at the popularity they have now. And of course they can fail. Anything can fail. But I'm a big proponent of red dots on pistols. Big proponent. Love them. And then also we can go a step farther. Can you trust every YouTuber and every gun review or product review? It doesn't have to be a gun. Yes, I do love Primary Arms Prism scopes. I have their 2 power and their 1 power, and I really, really do like the Prism optics quite a bit. And it definitely helps with my astigmatism too. Hello, Bald and Curious. How are you? Let's see. Scott is saying, surprisingly, my 40 cal Sig 226 shoots really nice considering it's a 40. I was never. I have tons of 40. Hell, I still got tons of 40 ammo. But I was never. I'm not recoil sensitive. I think y'all probably know that by now. And I don't think 40 is really a hard recoiling round. I think a lot of people with the proper grip, not just sitting there teacupping it, with the proper grip, it's easily controllable. And hell, 10 millimeter is too. Hello, Ranger 10. How are you? It's whiskey. Drink more and you'll remember the brand name. Yeah, I can't believe. I have a lot of whiskey, and I just poured it because I was like, oh, I haven't had that in a while. And I poured it, completely forgot the damn name. Rock Chalk. Has anyone shot a P10C with a P10F slide? any issues with reliability or function. Well, Rock Chalk, I have a video doing exactly that. I called it I named it a P10SC. So you can check out that video, but the P10F slide snaps right on there, goes back, it sticks out a little farther, of course, and your spring is exposed just a little bit on the bottom, but it shoots fine. Absolutely no problem. It'll snap right on there and work perfectly. So yes, you can do it, and it will work. Yeah, I've got a video where I think I shot like 100 rounds or so. I don't know if I did it that day. I don't know if the video has 100 rounds in it. I don't think it does. It might have like 3 or 4 mags in that video, but it shoots perfectly fine. There you go. Mike High picked him up some more mags. And anybody that's just jumping in, I did announce Bowtac is having a big sale on magazines, Lancers, all kinds of magazines, pistol magazines, if y'all need any stuff. Hello, Reloading from the Hot Pot. How are you? IBG says no. No. Trust YouTuber, no war. Scotch Such, I know that's what you're trying to say. Loves every gun. Yep. Yeah, anything that's electronic, it can fail. Only trust the reviewers who never find anything wrong, no matter what it is. Yeah, that's the ones. Not everything's perfect. I have some stuff that I really, really enjoy, and they're great products. I believe in them, and I will use them. There's a few pieces of gear and stuff I can't really find any fault in, but I do try to find something, whether it's nitpicky or not. I do try to find something that maybe won't, that maybe could be a negative to you that might not be to me, such as, and I'll say this, the P10C, if you get the Optic Ready version, the plate from CZ Customs, it actually has a gap at the front of it. So you can put a RMR plate on there and you will have a gap. So there's no filler in the front. I'm not OCD. I'm going to have scratches on guns. I'm going to have, whatever, wear marks. I don't give two craps. It's a tool. I'm using it. However, I have had so many people freak out going, oh my God, that gap is crazy. I can't believe that, blah, blah, blah. If that bothers you, I could completely understand it. But has it failed? Anything like that? No, it works perfectly. However, is it super eye appealing? Not really. But the function is what matters to me. Is it moving? Is it doing any of that? No, it's not. Kyle is saying, in my opinion, no, because some reviewers are interjecting fanboyish bias. Yeah, and there's things I really, really like, and you can probably see it in the videos. I do like staccato. I do like MPA a lot. However, I have said faults with both. So there you go. Bald says, you can trust his reviews. He speaks the truth for the right price. Yeah, and that's the thing. There's companies that give you like really nice things or guns or whatever, and they expect you to say great things, but I don't know. Some of those you can tell it right off the bat. It's like, you got a free gun, you're a fanboy, or you're a bought, shill, whatever. KO4 S4 is saying, after the product reviews, no way, don't trust them at all. And here's my thing to that. Okay, we all know this. Springfield sent out a bunch of guns to a lot of people. And there's other companies who send out a lot of stuff to other people. So could they have gone through an extra QC, check those? So the people aren't being wrong that are testing them. It's that they were, cherry picked. Could that be it? Maybe because they knew those guns were going out to certain people. So did they give it an extra QC look? Did they make sure everything was perfect? Did they test fire them a little more? Did they make sure they had perfect mags with them? That could be a possibility. I don't know. So, I don't know. I kind of, some of that stuff. And again, I always take everything with a grain of salt. I like to be my own tester. That doesn't happen every single time, but I do like to do that. Hello, X-Ring. How are you? Hope you are doing well, sir. Oh, Rock Chalk, I've done so many videos. Hell, sometimes I forget the ones that I've done, but I did particularly do that because I wanted to know for myself. Let's see here. Hey, yeah, you got to use that painter's tape sometimes. Hello, Abigail. How are you? Hello, ND Polo. I appreciate you popping in, sir. Thank you so much. Big Johnson Guns and Gear, what are your thoughts on the 30SC finding itself being picked up by more manufacturers? Do you think it's going to fizzle out being a Smith & Wesson only thing? No, there's some people who are picking it up. Um, hell, even Nighthawk picked it up, but you're looking at a $6,000 pistol. Me personally, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. I personally don't see, if you are vested in 9mm, I see absolutely no reason to have 30 Super Carry. I really don't. Um, if you're not invested and you're a new shooter, here again, I think it's a boutique round. I think buying a particular gun with that round, you're going to be stuck with that round. That round is more expensive. It's harder to find. It's not cheap like 9mm. It's not a NATO round. I personally just don't see a reason in having it. I think it will fizzle out like the 224 Valkyrie. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. I have absolutely no reason in having it or even wanting it. Just being honest with you. Yeah, Pistol Pete, I saw that quite a while ago. He's very outspoken. Ben Stoger always has been, or Stager, I think, some people pronounce it differently. He's been very outspoken. There's a lot of things in USPSA I wish they would change. I've spoken about it before with letting, like staccatos in, whether it be a whole new division or just kick production completely out. Nobody cares about production, honestly. So erase that and bring in like a tactical carry optics, I guess, where you could shoot single action with the dot and a light. I think that would let more people play in the pond, but those are only my opinions, and I'm really nobody to speak of that. So, I could still go shoot one with my Shadow 2, and I still might, but it's kind of turned me off from it, just being honest with you guys. Uh, you know, at the end of the day, also, you spend a ton of rounds shooting, and you walk away with a trophy or something like that in USPSA, maybe a Glock, and that's cool for a lot of people. For one, I just don't have the time to do it, and who knows what's coming down the pike. I don't reload myself, so I do want to save all of my ammo as much as possible, and I'd rather spend it in training myself. And USPSA is a great opportunity to train. I'm not saying it's not. It is what it is. So sometimes, and I'm not trying to be rude, sometimes it turns into a measuring contest. I'll just say that in a nice way because we have a lot of people on here. MD Polo says my Prodigy 5-inch had so many problems it went back to Springfield, still waiting for it to come back. I heard there's quite a line. of those waiting to come back. You know, I think they might have tested it, should have tested it longer. I think probably I've heard a lot of issues with those mags. And as people who shoot 2011s, X-ring and bald and stuff, 2011 mags can be finicky. And maybe Duramag does not have that locked down completely. So that could be part of the issue. I don't know. But, hopefully they get it all worked out. Avoid the sweet tea. There you go. Hello, Russ Dennis. How are you? I have not. I have seen them on Brownells, but I thought they were in stock. I haven't tried to order one. I have looked at my at Texas Gun Experience. They don't have any yet because I wanted to try to get one and play around with it, but I haven't seen them. And also, and I understand why, but it does have the doctored footprint, because the bolt screws are far back because it's got the enclosed emitter, and I really don't have a lot of things set up for that footprint either. So, I think it's going to be a really good option to have a small enclosed, totally enclosed dot. There you go. 45 Super and 460 rolling. Hello, Matt Moore. How are you? Uh-oh, Bald says, thumbs up, people. 48 watching and 17 thumbs up. Yeah, smash that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Also, and I was watching a video, and I actually like what they say. If y'all haven't seen them, it's called Armed Attorneys, and they are attorneys. And they were, and I had thought about this way back before. We all train, or a lot of us train. We take classes. I've taken AK classes. I've taken a pistol class. I've taken, some training classes and things like that. Okay. So you do get in a self-defense situation and you Mozambique somebody. If y'all don't know what that means, I don't want to say it, but you get the point. Say you draw fast and you just burn somebody down, okay? Because you are defending your life. Could they use your training against you? And I've always thought that. I'm like, if you're really good, if you're like an ex-military, door kicker, if you're just like really, really good, okay, could that be used against you? Like if you're a USPSA guy and something happens and you just burn it down. You just, take care of business. Could that ever be used against you? And I think it could. They could be like, oh my gosh, you're, like a vigilante. Okay, I didn't want to say the other word because YouTube freaks out, but you're like a vigilante. And you're really not. You're just trained and you've practiced and you've done the dry fire. You've done the work to make yourself more proficient. Like you can get out of the holster in a second, or you can get out of the holster and get your first shot on target in like 1.5 seconds. For some, there's people that can do it in one. I can't. God, what's my fastest time? Honestly, I think it was like what was it, 125 or something? I don't know. I don't practice it all the time like I should, but it just brings up a point. If you have a perpetrator and he's got a gun or he's got a weapon and you just handle business, you've got two to the chest, one to the head, if you know where I'm going with this, and they're seeing that, are they going to be like, wow, this guy handled business, but is he too good, or was that intentional, or is he overtrained? And then because they said that it could be brought up, and they have seen it being brought up before in court for the jury. So you could be looked at as a bad guy. But I look at it this way, and I actually figured it out. I've been driving for 38 years. Okay, so if I was in a car accident, could they say, well, you've been driving for 38 years and you had a car accident? Okay, I have all of that practice in a car or a truck and I've been driving all of this time, back up trailers, do all this other stuff. Okay, could they then turn around and say, you're too experienced in driving? Makes no sense. So that would be my argument. I'd tell the attorney, hey, yeah, I've been shooting since I was a kid, taking some classes, but also, I mean, I could get in a car accident and I've been driving for 38 years. Actually, I've been driving longer, but, I got my license early. So I'm talking about a licensed driver. I've been driving since I was like 10 on the farm, but I'm not counting that. But, I think it's a dumb argument personally. And like I've said, even with the light triggers and all of this other stuff, you've got a 2-pound trigger. I don't care if it's 16 pounds. If I mean to use it, I mean to use it. Was it a good shoot? Yes, it was. Okay, it doesn't matter what the hell you use. Doesn't matter how well you're trained. But also being a YouTuber, I show the videos where I'm shooting. I show practicing. I show all of this. And other people show, there's other big, famous people, who are trainers and things like that. And they're showing what they can do and how fast they can do it. Could that be detrimental to your case? Should we not show everything that we do? I think that could be used against you too. So I don't know. I mean, it's just something to think about. I thought that was, they did say, if you're ever, something like that ever does happen, not to just come right out and say, well, I've had all this training. Okay, don't announce that. That's between you and your attorney. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even talk, without an attorney. But that's just my point. So, yeah, you're right, Pistol Pete. That's a great scenario. Overtraining only happens in the gym. I mean, you could blow your back out. You can, tear your bicep. I mean, I've done all that stuff. I mean, it's not fun. So, I don't know, man. It's just, you start thinking about all this stuff. You want to train to be proficient and protect yourself and your family, and then it could be used against you. It's like, what the hell is going on? I just, it's like they can find fault with anything. So, and I get it too. I mean, people tell me, oh, you're not a bullseye shooter. I would shoot holes and holes and holes. I'm like, I'm not shooting for bullseyes. I'm just shooting for combat effectiveness. If I put 21 in your face, it doesn't matter if they're all right here. Good Lord, people, get over it. So, yeah, the state fair. We've got the state fair here in Texas. And, there is one thing good about our state fair. If you have your LTC, is where I'm going with that. So, you can carry. Lynn Holt's saying, or as a competitor, could it be used against you? So they want you to be trained, and then they use it against you. Just makes common sense. And they were actually saying that they have subpoenaed some LTC trainers. Like, say I took my LCT today, or LTC, license to carry. Say I took it, and then I got in a situation. Could they summon my LTC instructor? And that has happened. They admitted that has happened. And I was like, what? I'm like, good Lord. I mean, it really makes no sense. And you're exactly right, Kyla. The problem is they want to mandate training to be able to apply for a carry permit so how then they could argue that training makes you more dangerous. Exactly. And they were even saying that if you have an LTC or a license to carry, that could be used against you. And I'm like, good Lord, you've gone through the fingerprints, you've gone through the extra background checks, you've gone through everything, you've been approved. Now they're going to use that against you? I mean, when does it end? When does it end? Yes, and that's exactly what I've said, Brian, too. I've said that for years and years and years on these chats. I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. You're exactly right. Because when something goes down, you are your only defense. Not many have Chuck Norris under one arm and a cop under the other, or a ninja. Doesn't work that way. So you are responsible for yourself and your family. Other people come to fill out reports after shit's already gone wrong. Also, wanted to say this. Y'all are all familiar with Kimber. I wanted to announce this because there is nothing out there about it, but I do know about it. Kimber is coming out with a 2011. Is it going to be good? I don't know. Who they're competing against is Springfield Prodigy. That's who they're going to go after, and a little bit of staccato. So I think it's going to be in that price range. It is going to be a lower priced or lower tiered 2011, but it is coming. Who is making it? I don't know if Kimber themselves are making it or if somebody is making it for Kimber, because y'all know, or y'all might not know, Springfield did not make that 2011. They did not make it. That is made by Alpha Foxtrot. So, and you can look up Alpha Foxtrot. They've got a plant in Korea. They've got a plant in Georgia. So I don't know officially where all of that gun came from, if it's overseas or part of it's here, or the parts are brought from overseas and assembled here. I don't know that, but it is made by Alpha Foxtrot. So I don't know if Kimber is going to be making it 100% themselves, or if some of it is going to be made out elsewhere, but they are coming out with a 2011. When it is supposed to be out, supposedly, is before the end of this year. Don't hold me to that, but that is the information I have, and the information that I have is pretty damn good. So take it for what you want. If you love Kimber, you might want to check it out. The Kimbers that I have had experience with, the newer ones, I do not like. The older Kimbers, I think it was the Raptors and stuff, I think they were like, early 2000s. They were pretty damn decent. The newer ones I have shot personally didn't have good luck with them. But again, a 1911, sometimes can be pretty finicky depending on who makes it. So there you go. Yep, I saw that Voodoo did that. I saw that one too. Yeah, Voodoo did a 1911. They should have done a double stack. And I agree. I mean, I love 1911s. I know a lot of people do. But in this day and time, I really think 2011s are going to be more sought after. But there you go. Yes, that was my point exactly. Can Kimber get their regular 1911s to work before grifting the 2011 market? And that's why I was saying I don't know if they're going to be making it or not. Yeah, Kimber is in Yonkers, New York, I believe. So Bald, I guess that is maybe an hour from you, but I know it's Yonkers, New York. I just have not had good luck. I mean, I never didn't own one of the newer ones, but I've shot plenty of people's that had them. They wanted me to shoot them, and I was not impressed. So, but there's that. But yeah, and as far as YouTube, like I said, I'm not knocking anybody. There was some videos I watched the other day, and literally the guy had a jam on video. I mean, a full blown jam on video. And I'm not saying it was a 2011 or 1911. I'm not going to say the name of the gun because you'll know who it is. Had a jam on video, and you can see right when it happened, and then he spliced the video, and then he, continued. And also he had a mag pop out. Now he could have hit the button, or it could have just popped out, or maybe he didn't seat it properly. I don't know, but he spliced there and then brought it in. And throughout the video, he basically said he had not had one failure on that gun. And I was like, really, dude? You should have spliced it way before. That's one reason I don't edit videos. But I was just like, God, man, why lie about it? Who cares? So I don't know if he was sent the gun. I don't know. But I'm just like, man, that's bull crap. And this person has always been questionable to me anyway. I don't believe a word they say. But, maybe people don't believe what I say either. So there you go. Hello, Miss Hotshot. How are you? Matt saying, any experience or opinion on the new Colt M5 rifle? I've shot the older Colts. I have no experience with the new one. So, just being quite honest with you, Colt and I, back even when I know Colt is owned by CZ now or Dan Wesson, uh, I kind of got pissed off at Colt a long time ago, and I had a Colt AR-15. It was one of the older ones that were sought after, and I was able to sell it and make a ton of money on it. So I did, because it was not my favorite one. Had the A2 sight on it and all that crap, like the old ones. Um, I just didn't really shoot it that much, so I got rid of it. Colt and I kind of don't get along. When they flat out came straight out and said they will not sell to civilians, period, it pretty much pissed me off. And I was like, you know what? I can't really support you any longer. I know a lot of people really like their revolvers and things like that, and their 1911s. That's all cool. But I don't own anything Colt now. So, and if you do, that's cool. I'm not trying to hate on you. They just kind of pissed me off when they started saying that stupid shit. But they've been known to do that forever. Yes, and I've said that before too, Bald. Kimber does make some really good looking 1911s. I mean, they look really, really nice. Um, but the quality's just not there. Hasn't been in quite a while. Rock Chalk is asking, what distance do you sight in your pistol red dot at? I sight mine in at 15 yards. It's usually 12 to 15 yards. I'm not that big of a stickler, but I usually do them at 15 yards. 15 yards is pretty much a happy medium between 0 and 25, and it's worked for me, and I haven't had any problems with it. I can shoot out to 25 or farther, but 15 works for me pretty well. So I find that as the happy medium. I'm not saying everybody has to do that. You can do what you choose to do, but I think 15 yards is pretty good. I think even other manufacturers have said that, but I've always pretty much done it at 15 yards. DC, statement of the night. I don't trust the government. Yeah, I hear you. Colt hates people and HK's not for the poor. That's always been kind of my slogan, and I've owned HKs before. I've had plenty of them. USP 45, VP9s. I even had a SK30 for like a really, really short time. It had the crap trigger in it, and I hated that trigger. And I had a guy that really, really wanted it, a good friend of mine. And so he didn't have a good home defense gun, and that's what he wanted and felt comfortable with. So I sold it to him to help him out. 34 BLG Blighter, revolver opinions. Revolvers are good. I mean, they work. Most of them work. There are certain revolvers I will not buy. If I was going to buy a revolver, I would not buy a Taurus revolver. Matter of fact, a good friend of mine bought one not too long ago, and the hammer freaking broke. It was a memmed hammer, and it actually snapped off, which is not good. Revolvers are great if that's what you're into. I own, what do I have? 4 of them? No, I'm sorry. I have 3 of them. I have 3 of them. They're all Smith & Wessons. They're the older style with steel, no mem parts, and they're great. I shot them a lot when I was younger. Don't really have an interest in them anymore, but there's nothing wrong with them if that's what you're into. Me personally, I'm not. But I would stay with a higher grade revolver personally. If I were going to buy and carry a revolver now, and I've said this numerous times, it would be a Korth. Korth are freaking awesome. They're super, super expensive, but the quality you get out of them is unbelievable. I've put my hands on them. I've never personally shot one yet, but I've put my hands on them, and they are phenomenal. I mean, they're pretty unbelievable. Let's see here. DC is saying, would you buy an ATI AR-15 at Classic Firearms for $379? No, I would not. Um, nope, I would not. You could really get some good quality parts. You would spend more and build it yourself, but I would rather do that. Um, I've seen those and they look cheap to me, and I'm just not into that. When I shoot ARs, I want to shoot them and know that they're going to be reliable. I'm not saying that one would not, but I'm just telling you, I would save up and get something. For one, if you did not like that ATI, if you didn't and you purchased it for $379, if you go to sell that ATI, guess what you're going to get for it? Probably $100, $150. You're going to get half the price of that thing. There's no value in it. Absolutely no value. And with other firearms too, there is no value in cheap budget stuff. I've said this numerous times. I'm not hating on anybody, but I'm just telling you, if for some reason you do not like it, you're going to lose your ass on it. So don't buy it. Save money, invest in something good. I would get a Smith & Wesson M&P 2 Sport way before I touched that thing. Way before. And I've had M&P Sports. Hell, I've got two of them in the box and never even opened them. And they're M&P Sport 2s. Never even opened them. Bought them because, we all know what could happen. They work. I've actually owned an M&P Sport 1. That thing worked great. It's not a high priced item. It's not the best quality. I have stuff that'll blow that out of the water, and a lot of other people do, but they are super reliable and they have a lifetime warranty on them. So if anything happens, Smith & Wesson's going to back it up for you. So there you go. Yes, I saw that. Smith or CZ is giving $50 off P07, P09, and a P10. That's actually a smoking deal. Wow. My Colt Anaconda is back at Colt. Third range trip. The cylinder won't open, but it spins freely. It's not the extractor rod. Really weird issues, but I'm kind of disappointed. That's not good. And you're not the first person that's told me that on the new Colts, the Anacondas, that they have had issues with them. That's the thing about revolvers. I have seen revolvers last forever, the old revolvers. If you shoot them a whole crap load, I've seen them come out of time. It's few and far between. And what comes out of time on a revolver is, rather than having the cylinder line up with your barrel, it'll be timed just a little bit off. So the bullet could hit the barrel, which would be very bad. And that's meaning a revolver out of time. I have only seen that on one gun, and it was a super old, worn out revolver. It was a reputable name, but it came out of time. The person did not fire it. They actually sent it in. It was fixed under warranty, and never had a problem after that. Never went out of time again. But that can happen on an old revolver. So that sucks, Matt. How do gun values do during a recession? Here's basically how they do. Anything that you can go in and buy at the gun shop right now that's readily available is not worth crap. Just being honest with you. Tauruses don't hold value. Some of the cheaper Smith & Wessons don't hold value. Rugers don't hold value. Actually, the revolvers hold more value. But this is what you're dealing with. If it's just out of the box to where everybody can buy it, they do not hold value because they're sitting in the shelves. Nobody's buying the new ones, so they're dang sure not going to give you good money on the used ones. However, if you have some guns that, for one, are not as easy to find or readily available, such as staccatos, MPAs, things like that, even Tanfolio stock 2s, stock 3s, something that you can't just walk in and buy, they actually retain their value. So when you're buying a gun or your first gun or another backup gun or whatever, just consider that. If it's something you're never going to get rid of, who really cares? But if it's something that you're not completely sold on, I recommend not even buying it. Save up and get what you really, really want. I know people that have $1,000. It's in their hand, $1,000. and it's burning a hole in their pocket and they got to spend it today. And they're like, I really want this, but I'm going to only spend this. And it's like, okay, you're going to settle. You're just settling for something, whether it be a car, a computer, a, a boat, whatever the hell it is. Save up and get what you really, really want. Buy once, cry once. I've said that numerous times. Now, I will say this. If you buy firearms to make money off them in a recession, you're buying them for all the wrong reasons. I have bought used guns before. A lot of people have. During a recession is the time to buy used guns, good quality used guns, because people are trying to sell them to either pay bills off or something like that. And I'm not saying, intentionally just rip somebody off because they're desperate, but I'm saying if it's a sought after gun, you might be able to get a good deal on it. And I've bought many guns that way. I've even bought motorcycles that way. I've bought cars that way. Just cars that I fix up and resold, and I've made money off of them. So, and the same with motorcycles. I bought a 91 Fat Boy. I stole that thing, stole it. Had every piece of chrome, every piece of leather on that thing. I literally stole it. I drove it for a year, just played around with it, blah, blah, blah. When I sold it, I made a ton of money on it. So sometimes people's misfortune or, unfortunate events that they have to go through can be a time for you to step in, give them some money, and get a good deal. So. Lever action opinions. Who else loves the 4570? 4570 is a great gun. It's a phenomenal gun. I really do like lever actions. I like them a lot. 357-38 is fun as hell. It is awesome, especially suppressed. Super, super fun lever action. There's so many good lever actions. I will say this: if you're able to get like the old Marlins, those are actually better than the new Marlins. If you can have a choice, the Henrys are super nice. Now they've shot up in value, so to get one, you're going to spend a lot more than you really need to. So I would recommend, if you know someone who's selling as an individual seller, if they're selling, a really good one, I would jump on it. I mean, I still kind of long for one. I don't own one now. I did in the past, and I should have never sold it. Matter of fact, I sold it to my uncle, and I should have never sold it to him. He loves it, and I've wanted to buy it back a million times, and he won't sell it to me. Because this particular Marlin that I sold to him, you cannot find anymore. It was a special edition one, or not special edition, but it was the one with the special safety. I mean, a lot of people want it, and I just wasn't shooting it at the time, and that is one gun that I regret selling. Hello, Kathleen. How are you? Yeah, you can get some good deals on AR-10s or AR-15s. And that's the thing. The AR-15 market is really flooded right now. There's even manufacturers coming in saying, hey, I've got a bigger and better one, whatever. The AR-10s are still holding pretty good value. But AR-15s, unless it's a sought-after name, they're not holding their values very well. And they are decreasing in their values. Do you think CZ75 line, including the P07, will ever come optics ready? I honestly don't. And the reason I say this is because they've been around so long, they're proven. There's so many companies that do milling for them that they don't really need to invest in cutting their slides or anything like that. They just make them, sell them, and then people take them out and mill them themselves with other companies. So I really don't think they're ever going to come out with a milled one or an optic ready one. I really don't. I think they would come out with a completely new gun before they revamped that one and added something to it. That's just my opinion. Shield Plus, their magazines are pretty good as far as I know. I know people who carry them that really like them. I have seen some problems with them. They also make, the uppers and the lowers with the foldable stock and stuff. So if you're into that, could be a good option for you. I've never personally tried one of their uppers and lowers, so I don't know. I don't want to speak on that, but it is an option. Ooh, 350 Bushmaster or 4570? Wow. Um, I'm kind of an old nostalgic guy. I would still go 4570 just because it's just cool, man. 4570 is cool, but that's just my opinion. I really don't have any experience with uh, the 350 Bushmaster personally, so I don't know. Hello, Victor. How are you? From Alaska. Awesome, man. Well, welcome here. I appreciate it so much. Never settle. Save up and buy a Ferrari. No, I mean, I'm not saying you have to buy a Ferrari. If that's what you want, definitely save up. I see so many people just settling, and like I've always said, would you settle for a particular truck? If you have to, like if you've got to haul stuff, I can understand that. Might not be the one you want, but it's the one you can afford at that time, and you've got to have it at that time. Um, Most guns you don't have to have at that time. You might have another one. You might have something else you can use until you get the one that you truly want. So I always recommend saving up. Like even with cowboy boots. I've got a buddy of mine that loves cowboy boots and I have tons of them. He's like, man, should I get this brand? Should I get that brand? I'm like, no, those fall apart. Or don't get this brand. Don't get that brand. Save up, get what you really, really want. So I got him hooked up with my boot maker and he's saving up and he's going to have a pair of boots custom made for him. And I think he's really, really going to be happy with them. I've had a couple pair made from him and they're awesome. And it's custom made for your foot and your foot bed. It's not just crap you go down to Cavender's or whatever and buy. And I'm not knocking Cavender's. I'm just saying you can have custom boots made. They are more expensive, but he makes them and molds them to your feet, not the masses. Hey, what's up, Wild and Wild Arm? How you doing, man? Hope you and the family are doing well. Yes, I, you're speaking my language, MD Polo. He's saying, amen, amen, brother. Save up and get what you really want. Instant gratification can be a trap, and you're exactly right. People burn that money burns holes in people's fingers, and they just got to get rid of it. Save that crap and double up, triple up, do whatever you need to do. Save that money. Okay, I'm just going to show this. Oh, fuzz fork, that's funny. Wow. Man, I have a Winchester model 1894 in 3030 made in 1911. It was first bought by my great grandfather and still works great today. I love that gun. 3030 is one of my favorite rounds. That's what I didn't want to say it, but that's what my Marlin was. Fantastic rifle. I kick myself every day. I mean, I love 3030. It is a very, very capable round. 4570 is fun as hell, but 3030 is just my sweet spot for those. So, oh, good. Okay. All right, good. I'm glad I got you fixed up. Good deal. Well, I haven't heard back from him, I don't think. Let me see here. Maybe I did. No, I have not done that. I haven't heard from him yet. So I'm glad you got the notification. What optic would you use for a milled PO1 keeping concealed carry in mind? Uh, Honestly, and here's why, and I understand this, okay? And the other ones are not made in America either. And this is why I put that on my SIG 322. I would go with the HoloSun 507K. It does give you the different 3 reticle options. Or, if it's available, I would go with the EPS carry because it is an enclosed reticle, and I am an enclosed guy. I really do appreciate that for what it is. Like I've said, an enclosed optic is better if you carry every single day because you have body hair, you have body skin, you have sweat, you have lint, you have all of that crap that falls off of you. And when your gun is upside down, it falls in the cup, and that's where it sits. With an enclosed emitter, you wipe off the back with your thumb, and you can actually do that with your presentation, wipe, and you're done. So I'm an enclosed optic fan. Not saying that the others are bad because I own many of them, but I am really, really getting into enclosed optics. So I would say the 507K personally, or the EPS. People will say why? Because it is a very strong aluminum. It's not polymer, and it doesn't have a aluminum shield over it. It's a one-piece thing. You're not seeing, the plastic enclosed with the shield around it. You got a gap, and it's just too much crap in your eye line. The other ones are cleaner, in my opinion, and I do like them. But that's what I would go for. I mean, you're asking my opinion. I'm giving it to you. Big Johnson Guns and Gear. You need Halloween decorations behind you with spooky lights. Yeah. I'll just tell you a funny story about Halloween. I had the HOA people get pissed off at me. I used to decorate, or not really decorate, but we used to pass out candy and do all that other stuff. And I don't know how big it was. It was like some 5-foot doll that we bought at a garage sale, or my wife did, or something as a joke because we were going to use it. But anyway, I put fake, red stuff on it and put something in it and wrapped it around the neck. And I would stand up on the house. This was a long time ago. I would stand up on the house when kids come up. I'd throw it down, and it would freak out the kids. One of the HOA got pissed off back in the day and freaked out and yelled at me. And I told them to piss up a rope. And anyway, because I was scaring the kids. But I'm like, it's Halloween. So I don't really do Halloween decorations anymore. Not because of that. It's just, Can't wait to get my winter jacket. I'll be able to conceal pistol with +5 base plates. I carry a +5 base plate sometimes. When I carry my P10F, I carry the 19 +5. People are like, how the hell do you carry that? I'm like, you got to dress around your gun sometimes. Or, like you said, wear a big coat. Honest Outlaw does not like Springfield ARs. I'm not a huge fan of them. I've just seen some things that have gone wrong, not because of him. I've shot a few and they haven't worked, particularly great. They weren't mine, someone else's. I was trying them at the range and I wasn't super impressed with them. I'm not saying they're bad. Just this particular one I was trying was not great. Ooh, 10 millimeter or 44 mag. It really depends on what you want to carry. If you want to carry a revolver or a semi-automatic, because you can get 10 millimeter and semi-automatic. I haven't seen a 44 mag semi-automatic. Maybe they make one and I just don't know about it or haven't shot it. But I would probably, in that case, I would probably go with 10 millimeter. I do like 44, but in a polymer gun or even an aluminum gun, I would probably stay with 10 millimeter personally. Matt Moore says shooting lever action reminds me of banging through the gears on a stick shift with a big block. Just damn fun. It is. And even when I shot them back when I was a kid, the lever actions, I always thought of the rifleman, from the hip. That was just always fun. I used to do that with my 30-30. I was just like, man, this is so damn cool. Cowboy boots, Lucchese Customs, my favorite. Yeah, and that's where a lot of people will vary. I do like Lucchese. I actually like them a lot. They have a store where you can go in El Paso and actually have them made. However, Lucchese has a high arch. I am more flat-footed, so it depends on the person. And the high arch in the Lucchese kills my feet. I just can't stand them. So when I have my guy make them, or when he's made them in the past, and I use a rider heel or a walking heel, not a rider heel. So that's the neat thing about having boots made. You can pick your skin, you can pick your welt, and I'm always a double welt guy. If you don't know what welt is, that means the sew around the front. You can have one white stitching, or you can have dual. I'm always a double welt guy. I take my boots seriously. I wear boots all the time, always have. In high school, it was cleats, boots. I wear tennis shoes. I have tons of them, but I'm a double welt guy. I really like square toe versus pointed, and I do own pointed, not pointed, but I have round toes. I don't use the roach stomper, so you can catch them in the corner. It is a small shop. It's a gentleman, and he uses all quality stuff, but he is a boot maker, a Spanish gentleman. Him and his son own a boot shop in Louisville, and it is Louisville. Gosh, what is it called? Louisville. You could look up Louisville, Texas boot shop. He's, I don't know, 15 miles from me or whatever, but I've used him. He does custom boots. You can pick everything, and he will actually draw your foot and make whatever sole you want. You can have crepe soles, you can have leather soles, you can have rubber and leather, whatever you want. But I'm a boot freak. Yeah, Lucchese's are nice. I do like Lucchese's. They just do not fit me. That's a good question. Big J, if you had a choice on a Micro 9, what would you choose? 365, Shield Plus, Hellcat, Glock 43X. As y'all know, I'm not really a micro guy, and I've talked about it due to hand size. If I had to pick today, I would, and I don't like the barrel length. I wish it was an XL barrel, but I know you can put an XL top on it. But I would probably get the SIG X Macro, 365X Macro. And the reason being is you do have the bigger grip. I've put my hands on it. It fits my hand the best. I do like the Hellcat Pro also, just due to the grip length. The Shield Plus really doesn't work for me. The Glock 43X really doesn't work for me. The 48 doesn't really work for me unless I run extensions. I just wish, in my opinion, this is Big Johnson's opinion, I wish the SIG P365X Macro had the XL barrel with the XL slide over that little 3-inch barrel with the wannabe comp thing. And I'm not saying it doesn't work at all. It's just, in my experience, with all my experience in comps, if you have the comp screwed onto the barrel, you're not going to get any blowback going backwards, sideways, or forward. So you're going to get it coming straight out of the vent. It'll come out of the front of the barrel, of course, but it's not going to go down the slide. So that's my opinion. Somebody asked, I said it, but that's my opinion. Good night, Matt Moore. Appreciate you, buddy. Hello, Donnie. How are you? Yes, the EPS is smaller than the 509. They have the EPS carry and the EPS, but it is a different footprint also. I love getting the HOA pissed off. Yeah, we won. I pissed them off multiple times. We won best yard multiple times, and they'd come put a sign in your yard, and they would give you like a $50 or $100 gift card or some shit to Home Depot. For one, I didn't want a sign in my yard. I thought it was trashy. So I told them, "You're not going to put that sign in my yard. I don't want it." And they got pissed off at that. And they said, "Well, if we can't put the sign in your yard, we have to take the gift card." And I said, "Take your sign, take this effing gift card, and get the hell out of my yard." Matter of fact, to this day, I am the reason we no longer have HOA. So we have no more HOA. I told them to piss up a rope. So there you go. I was like, "You're coming to tell me I have the best yard, but you want to stick a cheesy sign in my yard." And it wasn't a little sign, it was a big ass freaking metal sign. And I was like, "No." Miss Hotshot saying Glock or Taurus G3. In my opinion, Glock all day long. I am not a Taurus fan. I've had a lot of problems with Taurus in the past. But I have buddies, and y'all know who they are, and they've had a lot of current Taurus problems. So I just don't trust Taurus. I'm not hating on anybody's gun. Carry what you can afford. I've always said that. But you can have issues with them. You can have issues with any gun. But a friend of mine, and y'all all know him, I just don't want to say his name. He had a Taurus Tx22, and the barrel rifling took a shit. Had no rifling in the barrel left. After only 200 rounds, it was an inferior barrel. It took him 2.5, almost 3 months to get a barrel for his gun. Yet, they kept making the damn things, but couldn't pull a barrel off the line to give to him. They told him they don't have any barrels in stock, but never stopped making the gun. I was like, that's bullshit. So, all right, let's see here. I'll catch back up, and then I will cut out. Would you ever consider the current crop of AK or AR shotguns for home defense? AK or ARs, yes. Well, not really. I just wouldn't. Personally, I'm a pump guy. When it comes for home defense, I want to make sure it will fire low brass, high brass, any kind of brass. And AK types and AR shotguns can be finicky on automatic shotguns, and I've got their semi-automatic shotguns. I own them, not the AK or the AR types, but I've got semi-automatic shotguns. They can be finicky with high and low brass. Pump shotguns will run anything, so I will only run a pump shotgun for home defense, and I won't run slugs. You will take out your neighbor. Would you carry a SIG 210 for carry? I did play with one recently. Texas Gun Experience has one in stock. I played with it. I like it. It's not enough capacity for me. I'm not saying it couldn't get the job done. I'm sure it could, but for as big as the gun is and as heavy as the gun is, it needs to be a double stack. That's my opinion. I think it's a great gun. Also, it's not optic ready. So I personally would never consider it for those reasons. Not optic ready and a single stack. That's just my opinion. Boots make you sexy. Well, I appreciate y'all so much. If y'all have any questions or comments after the chat, please leave them, and I'll try to get to them as quickly as possible. Hello, Lamarcus. How are you, man? I appreciate you making it in, brother. 8.6 AR? Yeah, 8.6 is awesome. I would love to have 8.6. But the ammo, the price, it's just not justified yet. If it stays around and really makes a big impact, I will probably, on my AR-10, I will probably get an 8.6 barrel for it and do a barrel swap and shoot it and see what I think about it. Yeah, Taurus Tx22 competition is awesome. This one that he had problems with was the regular one. It's not the bull barrel. And I think that bull barrel actually helps dissipate heat and things like that. But wow, one of my fire captains I used to work with had a Taurus chambered in 45 explode in his face. Yeah, I don't have a good track record with Taurus. I've broken 2 of them, and that was back in the day, and I will never buy another one. That's just my opinion. Well, actually, I take that back. I bought the TX22 competition, but that's as far as I'm going to push it. All right, y'all have a great night. If you have any questions or comments, leave them after the chat. I'll be sure to answer them, but I appreciate y'all as always. Y'all make this chat happen. If y'all can think of any questions that you want to ask for the next chat, please throw them below, and we will write them down, or I will write them down, and we will get to them next week. I'm still pushing for the guest group that I'm going to have on. It's just trying to get everybody schedules together to where we can do it on a certain night. I thought I had it locked in. It didn't happen, but I'm still working on it. So thank y'all so much. Tune into Chris's chat if you would like to. And y'all have a great night. Thanks, everyone. Remember, our nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on.